Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today you may notice that I have a little bit of a different client. So these hands belong to my boyfriend Alan. I have always noticed that his cuticles spread and it drives me up a wall, and he gets a lot of cuticle junk in his sidewalls. He has really deep sidewalls. So I used to try to pick it out and he hated that. So he was like, if you're gonna do it, at least do it right. So I give him a dry manicure every now and then. I clip his nails and then I shine them up. So right now I am just pushing back his cuticle very gently because he does tend to be a little jumpy. You're going to notice that I grip his right thumb or his left thumb very odd. I will explain that and I show why in a little bit. But you can do, this is pretty much how I would prep somebody for any kind of an enhancement. So this can also be this could be technically dry manicure, and you could just stop at removing the cuticle with an e-file bit and cleaning it up and trimming the cuticle if need be, and then you could just stop there and then just buff and shine the nails. Or if you were doing an enhancement, you would remove the shine from the natural nail and you would proceed with your enhancement, but we're just going to shine him up for today. You can offer this as a service in your salon. Maybe people just kind of want their natural nails looked after. I don't soak him or anything. I've never been a huge fan of natural nail manicures that are include water. I think they have their place. I think they're fine if you're not doing enhancements. So maybe if he did that, but I don't know. It's not really what he likes. He likes this because it's faster, and he likes the feeling of the e-file bit that I use, the diamond cuticle bit. So yep, I'm just scraping out what I can with my cuticle pusher. Now I'm just going to go through and trim the excess off the nails. He does like his fingernails really short. It drives him nuts when they're really long. And he also his nails grow so fast. I'm using a straight edge nail clipper from Exclusive Nail Couture. You can obviously use whatever clipper you want, but he did agree to film this, so I didn't talk him into anything. You can see there I have to grip that finger every time I do anything to it. And I'm pretty sure it's here that I show you why. Yeah, see, so do you see that scar on his finger has that line through it? So he actually cut himself probably about 2 years ago, I think, with a table saw. He ran his thumb over a table saw. He was making me a cutting board for my Christmas gift that year, and he just slipped and it cut his thumb. So he has that, and it cut I think it cut a nerve, not a tendon, but it cut a nerve. So his thumb is just really sensitive, and certain parts of it kind of trigger different things. And he said if I don't hold that finger really tight, then he can feel even the vibration of an e-file on a 3 or a 4, he can feel it all the way up into his bicep. It's just how it is. So now I'm taking a fine file. This is a 240 file. This is my file from the Susie's from Nail Career Education's file kit. This is just a really good file to use on the natural nail. It's so fine that if you go back and forth on the natural nail, it's not really going to do anything because it's so fine. And before this, I really didn't have a 240 grit file, and it definitely has its place. So I am very glad that I have this. It just takes the length away without really having to make it jagged or anything. So yes, I really like this file. I'm just getting him all shaped up here. Now I have to squeeze that. I really have to squeeze that thumb when I do it. So it's things like that that you just have to know your client and, know if they have something like that and just kind of work with them. You could obviously not take away. The clipping might be an optional step depending on who the person is. If they want to keep their natural nail length, I have a lot of clients who do want to keep their natural nail lengths. I wanted to mention this in this video because I've been thinking about if I get to like 1,000 subscribers or something, I was thinking about having Alan featured in a video, maybe trying to do a nail on a practice hand or even a nail on me. So I thought that might be, I know people seem to like to watch significant others who really don't know a whole lot about nails do nails. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments and we'll try to work to get to 1,000 subscribers. So now I'm going in with my Kiara Sky e-file and it's like a cylinder diamond cuticle bit from Exclusive Nail Couture. I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. He kind of kept moving towards me, his hand. So what I do, and I like the cylinder because I think it can really, since it has kind of a 90-degree edge, I think it can get into the cuticle a lot better to push it back. And when I'm using this bit, I'm not like laying it on it looks like I have it at an angle, but I'm pretty much parallel to the natural nail. I mean, you can see it a little bit better in that one. Because it's kind of to the side. But I'm also not just laying the bit onto the nail. I am, I'm really trying to push it back, and the way that I kind of view this when I'm doing this Russian manicure or dry manicure or whatever you want to call it is I view it like I'm pushing the cuticle back in, and if I get the cuticle junk out of, or skin off of the nail, it's just a bonus. I'm mostly concentrating on pushing, I guess, forward kind of towards the cuticle rather than down on the nail, if that makes any sense. Because if you can damage a nail bed with this, I mean, you can damage a nail bed with almost anything. But his nail beds are not damaged. They are still very nice. And it's actually helped me practice a lot and practice my pressure. So you'll see me on this hand. I did it on the other hand too. I'm working from center to left on forward motion because I'm right-handed. And then I do that on all the nails. And then I'm going to switch my e-file onto reverse. And I'm going to go from center up and down, I guess, up on the other side, on the right side, on my right side. When you are doing this kind of work on a natural nail, really when you're dealing with a natural nail, your e-file should not go above probably about, I would say 5,000, and that's for like really tough cuticles. If you're just removing shine from the natural nail, definitely like a 3 or a 4 would probably be the highest I would go. And that's where a really good e-file kind of comes in handy. So first of all, I like ones with the LCD display, like that says like, oh, this is how many RPMs you're going. I really like that because it gives me a lot more control. And I also like, you want a good e-file because you want to be able to go on such a low speed without the e-file stalling out on you, because it has the capacity to be at that low speed but not skip out. And I don't think ever had this e-file on like a 3 and had it skip out on me if I'm just like tickling away shine or removing shine from a natural nail or doing this. So it doesn't happen so much with this, mostly if I'm working with a sanding band. But you won't see that here. So as you can see, he has a lot of dust and stuff on his nail. And he also has, like I said, he has a spreading cuticle, so his cuticle like spreads up his nail, so that's why I have to push so much of it back. And then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go in with nippers, and because he has a lot of excess skin around his cuticle, and you can kind of see that here. Now with this, you have to be really careful. Have I cut him before? Yes, but I would rather cut him than someone who's like, well, I don't want to cut anyone, I guess, with nippers. I shouldn't say that, but like, you always kind of need that person to sacrifice, because I can nip for forever on my nails or on my fingers, which you shouldn't do that, but I can nip for days and probably won't bleed, or I can tell when I need to stop. But when it's another person, obviously you don't have that like pain receptor or that knowledge of like, oh, that's too far, oh, that's skin, or oh, that's meat, as Alan says. So you kind of have to have a volunteer attribute, if you will. These nippers are from literally TJ Maxx. I don't recommend getting nippers unless you are okay with replacing them all the time or them being really hit or miss. Don't get nippers from like TJ Maxx. The best ones that I had were probably from Exclusive Nail Couture. I like them because they were smaller than these nippers and they were a little easier for me to control. They were also really inexpensive. They were probably about the same price as these. And they lasted me a lot longer. However, when you can tell when nippers kind of start to get dull because they don't make as clean of a cut. And it's kind of like, nippers are kind of like razors. Like, I feel like you're, like, yes, you can cut somebody with a fresh pair of nippers or a razor, but you're a lot more likely to cut somebody with dull nippers and a dull razor, if that kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know, because if you don't have nippers that can make a clean cut through the skin, then you are going to, it's kind of going to tear it and you're going to run into problems like that. So, and with people who have spreading cuticles, a lot of times they have something called hyperhidrosis, which means that their skin has a lot of excess moisture and their nails are kind of oily, which is why their cuticle spreads and like sticks to their natural nail. Like, I don't have that, but I think Alan does, and he does have kind of oily skin sometimes. So you have to be really careful because their cuticle is a little bit more, I guess, wet, quote unquote, or like oily. So in my experience, it tears easier, and sometimes like you'll try to nip something because there's a ton of cuticle there and it looks awful, and you'll try to nip it, and then the person will just start bleeding, and you're like, what? Like, I literally didn't nip anything that was like even close to your finger. Like, it was all there waving at me. I don't know if it's like there's just like a little tiny vein or vessel that like goes into the skin there because it was attached to the nail, that it just didn't have time to kind of die off or like close off because you just pushed it back. But I've had people, and then they don't feel anything. They're like, oh, I didn't notice. So I feel like that this, long story short, a client with a spreading cuticle and kind of oily cuticles, like skin, is going to be harder to nip than a client who has like dry cuticles, because it's all right there for you and it's kind of all already dried out. So now I'm taking a Smooth and Shine buffer. This is my favorite Smooth and Shine buffer. It is Susie's from Nail Career Education, and it came with her file kit, the same one that had that 240 grit file. And I'm taking the green side because it's a very fine buffer. It's not like a shining one, but it's going to make the nail really smooth. So wherever I hit it with the e-file, it's going to make it very smooth. And I really like it because it's kind of, it has corners. It has the round side on one end and then square end on the other. So you can really get into like the cuticle. And now I'm going to use that white side, which is the shine side. And you will see how much of a shine this can really make on the nail. Like, it literally looks like I just put a top coat on him. I think it's super satisfying to see him with like super shiny nails, and I really don't get to use this sponge on many people because most people who come to me, you know, they either want gel polish or they want extensions of some sort, so I don't really get to do a whole lot of stuff on natural nails, and I don't ever really use regular polish, like, ever, so it's kind of fun for that. And this kind of goes for anything, if you ever see on the nail that something something doesn't look like right, like you're like, oh, I missed that side with the acrylic, or like I missed that tiny corner, or oh, there's a little bit of skin left in there, don't just think, I think the biggest piece of advice I could give you out of this video is just don't think that like, oh, okay, I can go along with my day and, oh, I'll fix it in the filing, oh, I'll fix it later, oh, it'll be fine. Because if I were to put an enhancement on that and I hadn't gone back, I would have ended up, sorry, I'm distracted by text messages that are popping up on my computer about my other student teachers. If I would have put an extension on that and I wouldn't have gotten that excess cuticle out of there, it would have started to lift. I mean, I'm not putting extensions on him, but you know, it's okay. So definitely, like I said, let me know in the comments if maybe a little series featuring Alan and trying to sculpt things or, you know, do nails would be interesting to you. I know that can be kind of a fan favorite, and I can teach him things like stamping or like hand painting, and we could do acrylics, we could do gel polish. It's kind of up to you guys, so I want to do what you guys want to see. He has requested that his face not be seen. So if I ever do an intro with him, he will literally probably have a paper bag over his head because for whatever reason he does not want to be seen on YouTube. So I'm just gonna shine these all up. Also, don't put a ton of pressure on this. Like, I know it's kind of tempting to like really put some elbow grease into shining these nails up, but really you don't need to, and you can create a lot of friction that way. So just, you know, constant movement is good, but it will shine up, I promise, if you just don't put a ton of pressure on it. It looks bad right now on the video as I'm seeing it because I sped it up, but yeah, so. And I just want to remind you guys that I did hit 400 subscribers a few weeks ago, and I really do thank you, and I kind of have been seeing a steady increase in my subscribers now, especially since I've been uploading more often, which I really plan to do. I've kind of got back into the groove of things, and as my semester kind of starts to wind down, I'll be able to definitely film a lot more and upload a lot more. Plus, I love Christmas stuff, so you'll be seeing that soon. So just remember, if we hit 500, I want to do a special video for you guys, and I want to do a Q&A video, so you can feel free. I think I only mentioned this in one other one, but I've been putting it in the description box of my videos for the past couple of weeks. Just remember, if you have a question that you want answered, or you want me to include in that video and you want me to answer it, just put a red heart emoji so I know what to write down. It can be about nails. You know, I would be happy to answer things like, you know, what are your favorite acrylics right now? What's your favorite primer? What do you do to prevent lifting? It can be more technical stuff, or it can be just kind of personal stuff. It can be like, I don't know, how did you get into nails? What was the first set of nails you ever have done? You know, how did you and Alan meet? I mean, like, it could be kind of stuff like that. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna ask me what my social security number is, I'm not going to tell you, but it can be stuff like that, just so you guys can kind of get a better idea of who I am, and you know, I can make my presence known a little bit better here on YouTube. I have some really fun things planned. I've been in talks with some YouTubers, some pretty well-known YouTubers, and I'm really excited for some of the things that I have planned. So that's why we need to get those subscribers up so more people can see. All right, so now I'm just doing cuticle oil. This is probably, looking by the dropper, is Young Nails Rose Oil. It is my favorite cuticle oil at the moment. I do actually like the dropper, but I just love how it smells. I'm definitely going to get some more on their Black Friday sale. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below. Comment questions for me to answer. Comment if you want to see Alan featured more often. Maybe with him actually doing things and me not doing his nails. So please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, guys. Bye.